All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to USDA NIFA's informational webinar on the CAF Regional Innovation and Demonstration of Climate Smart Agriculture for Future Farms, Agriculture and Food Research Initiative, or AFRI, fiscal year 2022 program. My name is Adam Wilkie, and I want to thank you so much for your time and attention this afternoon. The purpose of the webinar is to provide some information about this specific program area, A1156, and address any questions related to the application process. Please feel free to submit questions throughout the duration of this webinar using the Q&A function you see on your Zoom screen. Please also include your name and contact information so that we can be sure to respond to you directly in response to your question. Also, please think of questions throughout the duration of this webinar and feel free to reach out to us directly via email afterwards. You will see our contact information displayed upon the slides, also available in the request for applications document. The text on slide number 2 displays the United States Department of Agriculture's non-discrimination statement. In accordance with federal civil rights and U.S. Department of Agriculture civil rights regulations and policies, the USDA does not discriminate upon special classes, and you can see more details about this information linked at the hyperlink on the top of this slide. You will also see contact information available for alternative access options and other information available for submitting a complaint in regards to accessibility of this webinar. Slide number 3 begins to outline the program contact information for the NIFA staff associated with the CAF program. As I mentioned, my name is Adam Wilkie. I'm a national program leader in the Division of Global Climate Change in the Institute of Bioenergy, Climate, and the Environment. At this time, I would like to pass it along to my colleagues to introduce themselves.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bisundat Mukun. Folks call me Mac. I'm a national program leader. I must say new national program leader with NIFA, joined at the beginning of this year. In my previous slide, I was a forage agronomist for a long time, and my background is in grazing-land management, also worked in biofuel crops and ecosystem management, cover crops, all that good stuff. Welcome, I'm glad to be here. Please contact me if you have questions.
Hello, my name is Desiree Rucker. I'm a program specialist with this program. I've been around NIFA for a couple of years. I'm here as support for the CAF program. I support Adam and Mac, but also I can field any of your questions. We'll, at a later date, you may call me at the number and email me at the email listed.
Thank you, Mac and Desiree. May I pause for a brief moment and ask if other NIFA staff are on the line that would like to take a moment to unmute and introduce themselves. John or Desi, please let me know if you are seeing signals on your Zoom screen for anyone that would like to chime in and introduce themselves. Thank you. Also on the line is Dr. Deb Hamernick. Dr. Deb Hamernick is the Deputy Director for the Institute of Food Production and Sustainability at the United States Department of Agriculture, National Institute for Agriculture. And Deb, I apologize that you're unable to unmute and introduce yourself.
Sorry, everybody. I had trouble unmuting. Thanks for the introduction. It's Deb Hamernick, Deputy Director of the Institute of Food Production Sustainability, and welcome to the webinar. We're glad you're here to learn more about this very important program. Thanks, Adam and Desi.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Hamernick. And I apologize to have put you on the spot, but I am really glad that you are here in support of this program. And thank you very much for taking the time to offer that introduction. Continuing upon the roll call of the NIFA program staff contacts, I would like to display the other national program leaders that are providing support from across the Agriculture and Food Research Initiative priority areas, including Dr. Amir Fayed, Dr. Stephen Smith, and Dr. Giomi Zamora. And as I mentioned previously, please do not hesitate to reach out to any one of us with questions or comments in response to the language in the request for application or the comments and remarks you hear on this webinar this afternoon. Each of the national program leaders contribute various subject matter expertise that helps the cross-cutting functions of this program perform to meet NIFA's objectives and goals in advancing the science in regional innovation and demonstration for climate smart future farms. I will start with a very quick NIFA overview. This may not be a surprise or new information to anyone on the call that NIFA is the extramural science funding agency within USDA's Research, Education, Economics mission area. NIFA invests in and supports initiatives that ensure the long-term viability of agriculture. NIFA provides funding and strategic leadership for programs that ensure groundbreaking discoveries in agriculture-related sciences and technologies that reach people who can put them into practice. A quick overview of USDA's fiscal year 2022 priorities. And if you would like to read more, these correspond more or less directly to the USDA's strategic goals that were recently published for the years 2022 to 2026. First, which is important to this priority area specifically, addressing climate change via climate smart agriculture and forestry. Second, important to this program and all of NIFA and USDA's programs, advancing racial justice, equity, and opportunity. Third, important for the betterment of agriculture in the United States and the world, is creating more and better market opportunities. Fourth, important for every facet of human life, is tackling food and nutrition insecurity. And last but not least, fifth, making the United States Department of Agriculture a great place to work for everyone. This slide displays the information that you will see within the request for applications document, the Agriculture and Food Research Initiative, Foundational and Applied Sciences. You will note that CAF is program code A1156. We are accepting integrated projects only, integrated meaning including research, extension, and education. Grant types are limited to standard and phase, phase being the Food Agriculture Science Enhancement grants. Strengthening grants are limited to small and mid-sized or minority-serving degree granting institutions that previously had limited institutional success for receiving federal grants, or state agricultural experiment stations or degree granting institutions eligible for USDA established program to stimulate competitive research, also known as EPSCoR funding. You will note the letter of intent deadline is not applicable because CAF was not requesting a letter of intent. And perhaps the most important piece of information to take away is the application deadline is rapidly approaching. Grants.gov will not accept applications later than 5 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday, October 6th, 2022. The grant duration is up to 48 months or 4 years for standard grants and strengthening standard grants. And the maximum award amount, including indirect costs, is $4 million for standard grants and strengthening standard grants. This slide displays another snapshot of the information that is available in the RFA language. You will note that CAF is a new program within the AFRI portfolio, specifically within the foundational and within the foundational and applied sciences program. It is a cross-cutting program, meaning that it touches upon 6 of the AFRI priority areas, which are listed here. And I will not go into those priority details for the sake of time this afternoon. Another big overview graphical slide displaying once again the project type is integrated, meaning research, extension, or education, and the grant type is standard. The purpose of CAF is described in the text on the screen. I will read it out loud and allow you to reflect upon and answer any questions you may have in regards to this language. While a holistic systems approach is expected, the project must be accomplished within the scope of program resources, which is a maximum of 5 million per award. Projects must implement climate smart agriculture and forestry and use advanced technology to reduce greenhouse gases and ensure profitability of farmers. I will take a note to pause on that second sentence and emphasize the importance of this program in using advanced technologies to reduce the output of greenhouse gases from agricultural production while simultaneously ensuring the profitability for farmers. Continuing on with the specific priorities to be addressed, priorities include establishing a demonstration site and test bed for agricultural production systems that employ smart technologies and management practices. Use of precision technologies such as digital agriculture, automation, artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, or unoccupied aerial systems. Third, advanced genomics and phenotyping in combination with animal or plant production systems. I may add, or integrated animal plant production systems. Applications are encouraged to develop and deliver methods and practices that can be scaled to various production systems and transferred across regions. Priorities also include, as I emphasized on the previous slide, mitigating emissions of greenhouse gases while simultaneously ensuring profitability for farmers and ranchers. We expect that this program area priority will address more than one of the following priorities as described on the previous slide, including use of robots, UAS, unoccupied ground vehicles, and sensors that can securely gather quality data in real time to support artificial intelligence-driven decision support tools. Regional innovation, recognizing the value of indigenous, traditional, and ecological knowledge. Climate smart practices and the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. Farm profitability and economic sustainability. Farm worker health and safety. Workforce development and community building. Scale neutral practices, value of traditional and indigenous knowledge, and hands-on learning for K-12 or college level education programs. Next is the eligibility for this program area priority. For integrated projects, eligibility includes colleges and universities, 1994 land grant institutions, and Hispanic serving agricultural colleges and universities. Once again, more details about eligibility are provided in the request for applications document. The last slide contains the link to the RFA, and I want to thank you again for your time and attention during this brief informational webinar. I want to thank the NIFA program staff, particularly leadership, for joining us and symbolizing their support for this very important program. I perhaps have not emphasized enough that this is NIFA's first year in offering this program. Therefore, we are still understanding how we can be a match for stakeholder needs, for innovations in scientific research methods, and for helping advance climate smart practices to reduce emissions of agricultural production while also simultaneously ensuring profitability for farmers and ranchers. Once again, please input any questions you may have in the Q&A box on the Zoom feature, and also please feel free to reach out to us directly via email after the presentation. That is the conclusion of the remarks that I have for this afternoon. We will maintain the line open here for a while as folks digest the information and articulate questions to us. Once again, thank you for your time.